She doesn't even go here.
I'm bi, actually.
Excuse me. Could the ugly, untalented gays please report to the principal's office?
Hi, I'm Kurt Homo, and I'll be auditioning for the role of kicker.
Hello! Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to Not So Straight Nerds. I'm your host, Luke.
And I'm your other host, Alicia.
And today we are going to mostly talk about the two big releases of this last weekend. That is Tron Ares and Roofman.
Whoop, whoop.
Some very
interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if that's exactly the sound effect to use.
Whoop, whoop. That's better. That works. Also, we were so loud on that hello. That's really funny. I love being the sound person because I get to see the like of our talking.
Clearly, she's in a very silly, goofy mood today.
Yes.
So I think that will make this a very fun episode.
Fun vibe check.
Before we... Okay. She said it, vibe check.
Vibe check.
Hey, how are the vibes?
I feel like I don't do drugs because I'm not a fan of drugs, but I feel like I'm high right now, I don't understand.
You were
I
not
don't
like
know.
this 20 minutes ago.
No, I'm like on laughing gas right now. It feels like, and I don't.
It feels like the
understand what's
gas leak
happening
in the
to
room
me.
hasn't gotten to me yet.
Yeah, no, that's how it's like. Guys, don't do drugs. I don't like to do drugs, but like. And you know what?
Like...
Maybe that's why, because I can have a good time without them. Clearly, I am my own drug. Thank you.
My drug is life.
My drug of choice is my own brain. It's really fun up there sometimes. So, check. Anyways.
And I'm vibing. I'm here for a fun
You're waiting
conversation.
for the gas to hit you, basically.
I'm so ready for the gas to hit me.
Okay, so we might blow up in the middle of this video, but anyways.
I did want to start this episode talking about a movie that you didn't get to see.
Nope.
But it was...
hence my yawn. I have a strict bedtime of, like, I need to be in my house by, like, 10. And that movie didn't even start till 10:30. Start!
Each day of the weekend.
Every
10:30.
single day. I'm like, I can't. It's the same thing with when Hamilton came out, except that wasn't as bad. But every single showtime was, like, 7 p.m. Once a day, 7 p.m. And... I think first of all we were busy most of those days anyways, and then also like
weekend.
It's a long drive for where we had to do that, so it's like I don't want to. So we would have had to go see it at 7 p.m. a 3-hour musical with an intermission on a work night, basically work day, whatever. So no, thank you.
Indeed.
I'm so glad you got to see it though. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, Good Boy was very fun. I didn't know what to expect. It's an indie film for those who don't know. I am going to be spoiler free here,
Because I haven't
you
seen
haven't
it.
seen it.
So
But also,
don't worry.
I really encourage everyone to kind of see it when you get a chance. It is a very small indie film. It's basically a horror movie. I don't even know if horror necessarily, but it's like a ghost story from the dog's perspective. Mm-hmm. And it plays on the fear of like your dog is seeing something that you're not. It's very interesting. The set and everything is really cool. And then at the very end it shows like the behind the scenes of everything and like how they filmed it. Apparently our director Ben Leonberg, I believe if I'm saying that right, he is the dog's owner.
Oh,
the dog's name is Indy. He's our star. And it's very impressive how he's able to make him come off super expressive. And they like show a little thing about how you use the camera work to kind of project emotion onto something that isn't necessarily expressing emotion. Mm-hmm. It's very fascinating considering it's how like cheap of a movie it was to make. It's still a very fun time, and there's a couple of really scary parts that like really got me.
Where?
Oh, there's a part where it like has like the sound of something like running or crawling at you, and
Ew.
That was the first time I think I've acknowledged that like that's a big ick for me.
Oh.
like just hearing
Interesting.
something running at you, especially if you don't see it directly.
Yeah.
Oh, it's terrifying.
So, did you see it by yourself, or did Cole also see it with you?
I saw it by myself.
Okay.
But
What
it was
an experience. I had to see movies by myself for a year, and I love seeing it with friends because I love the debrief, like sometimes during, depending on if people are close to us, or for sure after, obviously, like even apart from the podcast. But sometimes like seeing a movie by yourself can be a vibe as well. It's just like its own experience, I think.
Yeah.
Not necessarily better or worse. It's just like very different, but I feel like still fun experience.
Oh, for sure. It's very unique.
Yeah.
Especially if you're vibing with the movie. And
Yes. Yeah.
I was vibing.
Yeah.
But I think that is where I'm going to leave it for Good Boy. It was fun.
I'm excited
fun.
to see it as soon as I can.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to lead us into the big movie of the weekend, Tron Ares.
Entering the grid. Get your identity discount.
Absolutely. So we are going to go ahead and rank the Tron movies just verbally.
Yeah. Because there's
and just
only
kind
3.
of-
So, but also shout out the TV show. I remember thinking that was fun, and I liked the animation, and it's very, very short, very quick watch. So, go ahead and watch it. It's fun.
Cool.
Yeah, I think it's called Tron Uprising, and it's on Disney Plus. So there you go. Anyways, yeah.
Cool.
But movies.
So you've seen both of these original films before?
Yeah.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And you enjoyed them?
Yeah, I would say so. Especially Legacy. I love Legacy. I think it's a very fun movie.
I remember my dad trying to have me and my sister watch Legacy.
Mm-hmm.
I remember being aggressively not into it for whatever
Ooh,
reason. I can
okay.
only remember a couple of scenes before they go into the grid,
Mm-hmm.
and then like when they're in the grid, and that's all I can remember. But it's, I don't know. Watching it now, it's very exciting. So it feels very weird to
Have that shift.
thought I would have felt that way.
I feel like, unfortunately, it's one of those movies where, like, obviously the visual effects have not quite,
I'm talking Legacy, like the second one.
Oh, yeah. Well, like, the first one, it's very jarring to watch it, I think, just because it does look so bad. But it's one of those things where you have to kind of just appreciate it for the time it came out in, because it was, like, such a big deal when it came out. I remember first not hearing about, but like gaining interest in these films when I took a film class and they talked about like how big of a deal the visuals were, how big of a deal that I think it didn't win at the Oscars. Apparently that was, according to my film professor, that was crazy for the time. I don't know.
I will say, and I think it's probably going to be safest, we are going to talk spoilers on these movies.
Yeah.
That is Tron Legacy, and Tron Ares.
Yeah.
If you're interested in experiencing any of those for yourself, feel free to watch any of those before you jump in here.
Yeah.
But watching it, what I really appreciate is how much of it is obviously new animation technology, which is insane.
Yeah.
And then also, outside of that, it's practical for a lot of their like sets, which I think is super cool. So even like watching it now, especially at like looking at like the timestamp, which is like around like the 60s, late or early 70s,
It's pretty old.
like that's crazy.
Yeah, I totally agree. So I think the more you are into film, I think the more likely you are to still like those films, or like the first one at least, because you gain more of an appreciation for the craft rather than just how much you enjoyed or didn't enjoy a movie. So yeah,
For sure. I will say with that first one, I think the lighting is a little unforgivable.
I mean, it does look pretty crazy, and I don't think hopefully no one would deny that. So
Like, and I would say even more specifically the lighting on the actors at any given time once they're in the grid.
okay.
Like, I understand maybe wanting to go for the effect that they're like almost like kind of like pixely with like the very like pale light on everyone,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I think it just makes
I think
them
that's
look
fair.
a little awkward in the super dark background.
Yeah.
But
What can you do?
everything
they
else
were
for that movie, I think, is
experimenting
great.
and yeah, I agree.
Well, the visuals, anyways.
Yeah. Story wise, I think it's okay. Like I don't think it's great, and I don't think it's bad either.
I will say I particularly because I really like Jeff Bridges. I think
Yeah.
he's fun.
Yeah.
And I actually really love creating that idea of programs being personified.
Mhm.
That's something that I fear we've come to lose a bit in the franchise. But I think that's what kind of made this franchise stand out early on, and then they kind of grew on that in the middle, and then we've lost the plot.
I don't know. Tron's interesting to me because at least from my perspective, I feel like it's never been a huge. It's not like Avatar where it's like it's so life changing that the world appreciates it. I don't think it's gotten near that effect. I mean, obviously, like critics wise and box office wise.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think, especially Tron Legacy, even at the time, maybe it was not appreciated, but I feel like it's gained a big, like, basically, like, cult following. Like, it's got its... It has its
ride or
huge
dies.
fans, yes, and they're all ride or dies. And I think that's unique in itself. So I know I've seen a lot of people, you know, Tron Ares maybe hasn't done as well as like people thought it would, but I've been hearing a lot of people basically saying like, please still believe in this franchise, just like don't do Jared Leto, like do something else, like please make another one, please don't like have this be the last one, maybe just like know going into it that it's not going to be an Avatar, which hopefully they didn't. I feel like that's totally on the studio, but I don't think they did. But yeah, I hope they keep making more too. I think they're fun.
I think there's plenty of stories to tell. I think with technology evolving, there's like clearly enough content to like make a statement or do some interesting stuff with that kind of franchise with AI developing, and then I feel like AI in all three films hasn't been a super urgent talking point, which feels a little silly to a point.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We did start this off by saying we were going to rank them. I don't think we've officially done that.
No.
I will start.
Okay.
And I feel we're in the same boat.
I feel like same.
From worst to best, I have Tron Ares, Tron, and then Tron Legacy.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
That was my ranking.
I thought so.
I'm giving him privacy. No, he doesn't want to do it. He's a, and now I'm bashful.
He is bashful.
I didn't know.
So, yeah, I think we talked a lot about enough about the original Tron. How do we feel about some of the things we liked
From Tron Legacy, that's our favorite.
Tron Legacy. I don't know. I mean, the story, the best. The cast. I love the cast. I think they're so fun. It was, I guess since we're in spoiler territory, I can say, I loved their, like, very, very tiny cameo or whatever, quotations and cameo, in Tron Ares, just the picture.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Just that was like, oh, I miss them. I want to see them again. So, maybe we will. Maybe that's what you should do for your fourth movie if you make one. Yeah. So, I don't know. We'll see.
That's a great point.
The visuals obviously were much better, but I mean, it came out, so it's understandable.
I love the world building of it all.
Yeah.
I think Tron laid a decent enough foundation. Yeah. And I think Tron Legacy really came in and kind of like
expanded it really well.
Really like kind of patched the holes and made it feel like there were rules and things to like make this world feel like a world.
Yeah.
Which I think is really cool. I think the visual upgrade really works. I think one thing that people have to give Tron Ares is that
Tron Legacy.
Tron Ares.
Tron Ares?
Is that they build off of the like grid visuals really well.
I mean, like, I feel like people who loved and hated this movie still both agree that the soundtrack and the visuals were amazing. And I feel like for the most part, I agree with that.
I'll come back to this
For the most,
conversation.
yeah. I feel like we're both clocking the same thing.
But if I would say that Tron Legacy has a glaring weak spot visually, it's their de-aging technology, I think.
Yeah.
I fear it just wasn't where it...
De-aging still looks weird nowadays, I feel like.
Sometimes,
It's like
but it's very expensive, which is why... Oof.
Yeah. It's like the conversation with it in Star Wars, like, just recast if it looks even slightly weird. I'm still looking at you, Rogue One, till this day. So, yeah, I agree. I think Indiana Jones did some of that too, although I feel like I remember the Indiana Jones style Destiny looking
That one
good,
looked, I think, really great, but it was
so-
also super expensive.
Yeah, and, pretty brief compared to, like...
I don't know. It was
Well,
like the entire,
that's
like,
true.
a very extended opening sequence.
That's true. Star Wars, man. I can't get over it anyways.
But other things I super loved about Legacy, the vehicles, expanding what those vehicles look like, expanding the games that were in the original, making them seem more high action, high energy.
Yeah.
I was curious whenever we started this one if we were going to still have our character named Tron in it.
Yeah.
I loved kind of where he came in and the idea that he was, there from the beginning. I think it's interesting here in our latest entry. There's no Tron. Tron is like a franchise based off of something forever ago.
Yeah.
But
Now there's a new...
no program named Tron, which I
Yeah.
think is okay.
A choice.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And then I think the acting is overall fine.
Yeah.
I would say outside of Jeff Bridges, who I think does some great work.
Yeah. And you're talking about Tron Ares?
I'm talking about Legacy.
Legacy. Okay, we're going back and forth, man.
I
just
know
wanna
I am.
make
I
sure.
apologize.
It's
I
okay. It's
apologize.
okay. In that case, yeah, I agree. It's fun to see the cast. But yeah, I think Jeff Bridges is obviously always a highlight. So, acting wise,
He built this in a cave. With a bunch of scraps.
Scraps.
He built this in in an arcade. With a bunch of scraps.
with a bunch of pixels.
Oh my gosh. Actually, great talking point. I wanted to rewatch. No, I actually had never seen it, but I watched Pixels, an Adam Sandler movie
God.
about old-fashioned arcade machines being brought to life by aliens in some kind of like contest against the world. Really bad.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I've just
I
heard
will
about
say
it.
there's some parts of it that I think are surprisingly similar to Tron Ares. Specifically, there's a scene where Pac-Man is chasing Adam Sandler through a parking garage. I will say we got an extended parking garage scene here.
Except that one was, I thought it was fun. I guess,
for sure. I just thought it was surprisingly
just the
similar.
similarities. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. There is a parking garage scene, so.
But especially just because I was looking out for the similarities here.
Yeah.
It was fun. I think we can go into Tron Ares. So I wanted to start with what our expectations were before this movie came out.
I mean, I feel like I was on the same boat as pretty much everybody else, where it's like I'm excited, except Jared Leto just ruins it. Basically, he's just one of those where I've just never been wowed by him as an actor, and he's not a good person. So it's just all around like, why is he getting work? I mean, I know he's like an Oscar-winning white man, like that's why he's getting work. That's the answer. But I feel like at this point, when is Hollywood gonna realize that it's him? That's the problem. So it's just frustrating. Again, like I feel like Disney still doesn't realize that it was because of him, and that this movie could have automatically, done better and gotten more money without him. Like some people were saying like Ryan Gosling should have gotten this role instead. Like whatever about that, at least like the general public likes him, and the Disney people or whatever, I don't know who it was, like an executive or somebody, but somebody commented like, no way, like that's not why it didn't do well. Like if anything, it would have made like less. I don't know. They were just not receptive to it at all, and I think that's disappointing. So, anyways.
Interesting. I hadn't seen any of that.
Yeah. I don't remember the specifics of the tweet, but I do remember they commented on it and didn't have a very good response. So that's disappointing.
Wild.
Yeah.
I think I was expecting some great visuals. I think
Yeah.
like the visuals in that first those trailers look amazing.
Yeah.
I was excited for more of that.
Yeah.
I think hearing there was a Nine Inch Nails song, everyone seemed very excited. I'm not super familiar with them as a band, but you know, if that many people are hyped, I'm on board to see what the hype is for.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
validly so here.
Yeah.
And I
Very
will
fun.
say I was excited to see Greta Lee and Evan Peters.
Yep.
I would say very looking forward to what they were going to be bringing here.
Yeah. I also feel like people were hyping up Jodie Turner-Smith a lot. I'm not as familiar with her work, but I do think she probably, I would say, gave my favorite performance here, maybe.
For me, I would say
Like, solid.
she easily gave my favorite performance here.
Yeah.
I'll
I agree. So, I don't know. It makes me interested. I've seen her in other things. Because isn't she like the witch from The Acolyte?
Yes.
that her?
Apparently
Yeah.
she was also in... Oh, I think she's the voice of the GPS in The Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey.
That's fun. So I guess I know some of her work. I'm not like... I haven't seen enough to call myself like a huge fan or anything. But I like what she did in this movie, and I'm excited to see whatever she does next. So, yeah.
No,
And,
for
you
sure.
know, I think she made... I guess since we're in spoiler territory, she made a pretty good villain.
I
So,
agree. I actually think going right into our best parts of this movie,
Yeah.
I think the antagonists here really work for me, actually.
Yeah.
Like Athena, I think specifically, I think the idea of having Athena and Ares
Yeah.
as like programs is fun, at least on paper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Athena here kills it. The idea of the program that, you know, will follow the program no matter what.
Yeah.
It might be a cliche, but I think they did enough, especially with like it being portrayed as a person.
Yeah.
I think that's something maybe a little... At least it's not anything I think I've seen super recently. The idea that it's this program that's forced to follow commands to the letter, looking for kind of ways around it, and it's still like a tad bit expressive, but almost like combating that expression.
Yeah, well, and I feel like a lot of movies about AI, they do often talk about, them not wanting to be controlled and growing from that, but a lot of times it's like moving into horror stuff and they're like bad. So I will say it is refreshing to have a movie talk about it in a positive light. Because I think they have a very interesting conversation of like how it can be used for good things. And I feel like we hate on AI a lot, rightfully so, but because we're talking about how it's being used to like take over and cheat artists, when it could be like, used for like medical things and like, like way more important things. We don't need more artists. We have plenty of actual legitimate artists that
Aren't
do
given
beautiful
enough
work.
resources to show off their stuff in the first place.
Yeah, like
and there's so many more important things that AI and its
Yeah.
like uses should be being used on.
absolutely. And aside from the whole conversation that it ruins the environment, because it does, and I'm not saying that's not important, but I feel like by now it's here to stay one way or another. So I feel like it's more it's more important, I feel like, now to have the conversation be, well, how are we going to use it? Because I feel like it's gone past the are we going to use it.
Sure.
We are using it, like, or people are using it, the world's using it. So yeah, and I feel like the movie does open that conversation, which
I wish it was maybe more integral, actually.
yeah.
But the whole thing of the Kim sisters and the idea of how we're using AI and
Yeah.
who has the hand on the wheel to make sure that it's still serving, the masses.
Yeah.
It's good ideas. Would they come from
Yeah.
a company corporate head like that ever? That's like the biggest fantasy thing that happens in this movie.
Disney's, I feel like, sometimes very good at starting these conversations that they would, like, the CEOs, like, would never have. Like, the people that could actually do something would never have. So it's interesting that their art does that. Like, same with Star Wars. Like, the conversations they have are kind of crazy considering the brand doesn't really agree with that. So
Well, I mean, there's a similar thing. I remember, I want to say, like, back in high school, kind of being explained that there's, like, a power dynamic between, the liberal and conservative sides of, like, media coverage, because the people who are on the ground and doing the work to uncover, like, stories and journalism lean liberally.
yeah.
But they're fueled and paid and managed by corporations,
Yeah.
which
And
are
filtered
conservative.
sometimes. Yeah.
So it's like this weird kind of in-between thing, which I think a lot of studios are as well.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, very interesting.
I wish they had more of that conversation, but I can't say I'm surprised that a Disney movie was not having that conversation fleshed out. So, whatever.
Yeah. I mean,
Disappointing, but not super surprising.
regardless, I fear they needed to find something to replace whatever
Say something,
was,
like,
or
I
do
don't know.
something. And, like,
Yeah.
This movie just has the problem of nothing being particularly interesting in
Yeah.
it, at least for, like, the main points.
Yeah, I agree.
But hey, we're still on the good things. Other good things we liked. We said Athena. Evan Peters. I continue to think that he did a great job. Frankly, I don't know if he's ever looked more attractive in one of his roles.
The tattoos.
With the tattoos and, like, the
Woo!
rolled up sleeves.
Ugh. It's like, man, you're evil and you're so hot.
And
You're not allowed to do that.
Is that the best part?
No one can stop me. Ugh. Yeah.
And then I also think that his mother, I thought she was also fun. At first I was kind of like, why is she here? But I enjoyed her inclusion as well. I thought her actress did a good job.
Gillian Anderson? Usually that's...
Julian Dillinger was her character name. No,
No?
that was him. Elizabeth Dillinger.
Yeah,
Played by Gillian Anderson.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Right.
I'm like, wait, no.
No.
Wait.
But she did literally Julian whenever she got stabbed.
Wait. No, but she was kind of dumb for that. I'm like, I kind of saw that coming from a mile away.
It was like, cool, this is where you let her leave because she's already here. Yeah. But whatever, baddie down.
Yeah.
Other things I liked, I really liked the visuals of, like, the scanning in process.
Yeah.
I thought, like,
that was cool.
That looked really cool.
Yeah. I also liked how you're talking about with all the lasers and stuff. Yeah.
And then
me
they
too.
like break out of it like 3D printing.
That's so cool. I loved that it wasn't just like making the exact shape, that it had to like break out of it. I loved that. I was confused at first, but then the second it broke away, I was like, I love that. I need 10 times more of that, and they gave me a lot more of that.
There was a lot of it.
Yeah. And Cameron.
Yes.
He needs to like so desperately be Hollywood's next star, and I'm tired of him being wasted. He should have been the main character of this movie.
He easily could have killed it as the main character here.
I feel like he would've been
people
such a
gravitated
photon.
more towards him in not 3 minutes of screen time than
Not
they did.
even like 10, 15 seconds, maybe. It was so brief. It's a crime.
It honestly feels insane, like, because he's a very notable like face right now, especially like within like even Star Wars. Like whenever he makes a film debut, which will happen eventually, people are gonna go crazy for that.
Yeah.
So it feels insane that he's here. Disney's using him here and not where he can actually be utilized really well.
People were now talking about him being in DC. Someone, which I don't agree with this fan cast because I think at this point he's too old, but he would have been so perfect when he was younger. What is his name? It's like Arrow's protege.
Oh, Speedy.
Yes, because he gets like 2 different names in Young Justice,
Interesting.
so it's a little confusing. But I feel like he would have been perfect, but I think he's too old now. Because they were trying to say, I forgot who they were trying to say for Arrow, but it was like they're like 4 years difference. I'm like, it's not gonna work, guys. But yeah,
but you know
I'm like,
he was in a
needs-
DC show before, though, right?
He was kind of the Joker.
He was
he
the Joker and the Joker's
unofficially?
twin in Gotham. That whole thing
Whatever.
was.
He looks scary in those photos, though. I haven't seen that show, but he looks like creepy. in
It
those
starts
photos.
really strong. When he's debuted just as like a character on the street in the earlier seasons, he is so compelling and he's crazy, and you spend so much time with him. And then in the middle of one of the later seasons, they're like, oh, but he has a twin brother. And he's like super normal
That's
and like,
stupid.
I'm on the run from my brother. And then like one dies and he's like, hey, I'm gonna drug you with this gas now. And then it switches and now he's the Joker. And it's like, and then he like is just like Joker in a suit and he's super like cold and like, oh, what's the Hannibal Lecter-esque.
Oh.
But then he apparently, and I didn't see like the last season where he gets all like grossified into what the Joker, I guess, was supposed to look like.
Well,
But man, did they lose me.
people were saying like, give him another chance. It wasn't his fault. Cast him in. I don't know what they want him in. I guess.
Frankly, I think the people will let him
Whatever.
be in anything.
Yeah. Just cast him in something.
He's
Anyways.
a great example of an actor who I don't think is working enough. Like I think
Yeah.
him and like Jeremy Allen White, I would put them like kind of on this like same level. And
Really?
they're both from Shameless.
But Jeremy Allen White, like, he's a big name right now because of The Bear, and then now he's freaking Bruce Springsteen. Excuse me. That's a big deal.
I think
he needs his moment like
I
that.
truly think that I think he could have easily taken his role in The Bear if he was given that opportunity. I wouldn't be surprised if they both
for
auditioned
sure.
for it.
Yeah.
I
No,
think
and I was
Jeremy
just
Allen White
saying-
does great, but I think they easily could be on the same level, and I
Yeah.
think it's such a shame that they're not.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you meant that, like, as far as projects they were getting, they
Oh
were.
no, I'm saying like
Okay.
they're on the same like
I
tier
was like,
of
what?
actors.
Like, I need him to have that same level. You're so right, though. I need him to, like, be the face of something. Get him in a biopic. I don't know what biopic, but, like, get him in something. So, anyways.
Any other best parts? We definitely covered a lot of
I mean, the
my
Jeff Bridges cameo, like,
yes, and I will
even
say
if he acted,
going.
like, weird a little bit, like, you don't know this man, why you be like, I'm so proud of you. You don't know him. We had several moments like that where people just, like, were talking like they were much closer to the person than they were. Like,
Hey. You like kidnapped me like maybe 2 hours ago, but let me start unpacking the trauma I've had from my sister.
like, what?
What?
What? What?
No, but I will say going back to the original Tron, like, server from the very first movie, I think is a fun idea. And the first
Yeah.
scene, I think, works well.
Yeah.
That very first scene in the grid works well.
Yeah.
And I think that is exactly where my best parts list ends.
Me too. Me too. We already kind of talked about a little bit of the worst
We
parts,
talked
but I
about
think
some
we
of
can
them.
get
We
more
can get into
it.
the details.
Yeah.
So, I think we'll break down the actors a little bit more extreme. I think obviously for us, and I think also in general audiences, Jared Leto is a huge low for this movie.
Yeah, I just still agree in this movie. I don't think he did a good job. I think he was weird. I feel like it makes Margot Robbie's performance in Barbie that much better. Just seeing, like, what should have or could have happened here with a better actor. It's like she played a doll wanting to be like a non-human, having human qualities and an aspiration to be a human really, really well. And this was just a straight up bad performance of that.
And even on that note,
the movie even tries to have like that scene where Barbie's like asking for permission from her creator to become like a human.
One of the
with,
best,
like,
one of my favorite like scenes in any movie I've ever watched.
but with Ares and Jeff Bridges' character, like the AI version of Kevin on the Tron server, and he's like, they're like talking about like how can you do this? And he's like, you're always surprising me. And it's like, you didn't know he existed 2 minutes ago.
I know. I'm like, you don't know this man. What do you mean?
How long were we meant to be here in the original script that you're saying this line out loud?
Yeah. What do you mean? And anytime he was like trying to pretend to be human, I'm like, it's not working for me. Like, I can understand that you're not human, so maybe you're awkward, like, but so is Barbie. Like, she's excited to go to the freaking gynecologist because she's never done that before, and she thinks that's fun, and she's about to get a nasty wake-up call. But it's like, that's not happening here. She's still such a lovable character, and he's not.
And I would say a huge element of why that works for Barbie and doesn't work here for Ares is that, for one, Ares as a character completely relies on the actor being as charismatic as Ares is being perceived by the other characters.
Yes.
And Ares is just never being perceived by the other characters in this movie the way any real person would perceive being talked to the way this weirdo is.
It was like we were watching a different character than the other characters were experiencing.
Yes.
It's like two different things. They were acting great because they were acting off the script, but they weren't being given the performance that they deserved to act off of and bounce off of. So it was very jarring as an audience member.
It's so bizarre.
Just total miscast. Yeah.
And it really sucks because the entire movie hinges on being able to feel anything about this character.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'm also gonna unfortunately say, I don't think I loved Greta Lee here either. I think it's a very underwhelming performance.
Yeah, it's hard. It kind of reminds me of like Lola Tongue in The Summer I Turned Pretty, where it's like, well, except I know that Greta Lee is so talented. Lola Tongue, I'm sure she is. I just don't know. I haven't seen her in anything else. But there are several moments where I'm like, I fear you just have a really bad acting partner, and you're unable to save it. And I can't entirely blame that on you.
But I would say there's even like the parts where she's like not with him that she still feels a little off.
It just feels kind of miscast as well, I think.
I don't know. I feel that might be true.
know.
I also think it might just be a bad script.
Yeah. I don't think anyone's doing her any favors, which is unfortunate because we know that she's so talented. So
after like Past Lives and her like
role in the
studio, like, you are such a charismatic actress and you can get really, really deep as an actress.
Yep.
It's just interesting that like her first move to kind of be in like the mainstream just really didn't work for her. I hope
that's a shame. I hope she gets another chance.
For sure.
Please, because you're so talented. You need something better to showcase that, because this was not it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree. I was disappointed by her performance. Even though I feel like a lot of it's not her fault, but
sure.
What can you do? It's what we got.
And this also might be a hot take, because everyone's saying the visuals are like the best part, and for some people they make the movie. I don't think there's a single amazing visual moment that wasn't already visible in the trailer.
Other than like, I would say yes. Other than like the lasers building the things.
But the thing is, we saw some of that in the trailer.
Some of that, yeah.
So they extended that for sure. They extended a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah,
that
there's
we
no
saw
new
in
shots.
The trailer. But I was really hoping we'd be able to see at least some new toys or some new like weapons that we did not actively see in the trailer. That was gonna be like, oh, this levels us up a little bit.
Yeah. that makes me think of like Fantastic Four. They did such a good job at that, where it's like it's amazing shots in the trailer, but then you have that entire space sequence. But this movie needed something like that, and it didn't have it.
When I think of situations like this, it reminds me of the Venom Let There Be Carnage movie. Because I remember that trailer is very exciting. You see Venom, you see fight scenes, you see some very exciting action. But then in the movie, like, those are the main exciting points throughout the entire movie. So it's the element of
good job for the person who made that trailer.
It's your job to make your trailer seem great and appealing, but bad on your director for not putting enough interesting stuff to fill your whole movie.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I agree.
And then I'd also go as far to say as the visuals inside the original grid after that first scene is bad.
Yeah, it's hard because I think it was a great idea. I just don't think it was executed as well as it could have been.
But I would say why it doesn't work for me visually is because, like we were saying earlier with the first Tron movie, the practical effects, I think, really ground the visuals for that movie and make it really impressive and very cool. But literally, other than like maybe some of the ground that they're walking on, it's all just like a digital replication of that.
Yeah.
And it's not, and it already isn't like super complex or interesting to look at.
Yeah.
So it's just, you know, something that could just cheaply be done in real life is just clearly being done digitally.
Yeah, and it is frustrating because also in the movie they say at multiple points, like, just warning you, it's the 80s, to like warn them about the visuals that are about to happen. I feel like that's a shame because now that I'm thinking about it, is that like shade to that movie? And I think that's a shame because it was so revolutionary, and I think they're missing why. I feel like that's a common thing here is, you know, it's not necessarily bad, but they're missing what made it work, or they're missing what made it not work. So like,
it's like crazy. No one's gonna say your visuals are worse in this movie, but also most people are gonna say that older movie was much better than this one. Maybe let's look at ourselves, script writers.
Yeah, let's see why. Yeah. I think it was funny because when the first several critic reviews started coming out, people started noticing that the positive reviews were like, the visuals were amazing, and, you know, maybe the script wasn't the best, but like the visuals were great and the soundtrack was great. And then the negative reviews were like, I mean, the visuals and the soundtrack were good, but that script was horrible. Like, they're saying the same thing, it just like the script bothered people more than others. And I just want to point that out because I think that was really funny.
I mean, I think it kind of leads into where general audiences are. Like, especially in how they react and perceive films.
Yeah.
I fear, even though I've seen less of those, like, TikToks where it's, like, half of, like, something that's, like, longer as a video and then half, like, Subway Surfers or, like, soap cutting. Do you not know what that is?
I do, but I haven't seen one of those in forever.
No, I haven't either, which I took as a great sign that, you know, people were willing to stick and focus on something, especially on a platform that, like, doesn't encourage maintaining contact with something for a long time and kind of, like, allowing that to grow and expand in someone's mind, which I think is very damaging. But I think now there's almost like a Cocomelon effect, I think, on general audiences where it's like, ooh, pretty colors, bright, exciting, action equals good movie.
Yeah.
And I think the only time we're seeing things different from that are whenever those people on the internet are hating on a movie off of its first trailer.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's a unfortunate way to view movies. And, you know, visuals do a lot for me, too. I'll admit that. Like, that will uplift a movie for me a lot. I admit that with the Star Wars sequels, that the visuals do a lot for me where the script may sink a little bit.
And you know what? Maybe because we were so on top, like maybe because we've seen the trailers so much, like if I went in blind, maybe I'd have had a crazy different experience. But
maybe.
you know, I didn't. And this movie was advertised very heavily, so
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if other people didn't as well.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a shame.
Yeah. I wish people... I wish there was a little bit more... I think it's in the same vein... Sorry, I'm jumping
It's
around
okay.
how I want to phrase this.
It's okay.
But similar to the fact that, like, there's a large amount of our population that just, like, can't read appropriately.
Yeah.
And I fear it's the same sense of why some people defend this movie. It's like, so it's because you don't understand how plot structure works.
Yeah, it's
and you're
'cause you
not
don't
bothered
consume-
by
Yeah.
how, like, a plot in a story is supposed to actually develop.
Yeah. If you never consume media, anything with the beginning, middle, and end seems interesting. But that's, you know, you
Yeah,
gotta
it's-
consume more
I-
media, man.
I think it does...
Open up your world.
It feels like the big movies might be melting down to Coco Melon for adults, and I think that's really sad.
Yeah.
It doesn't work if people don't
agree.
don't demand more from
Mhm.
the studios making this content.
Yeah. I will say, though, like, I mean, the critic score is not the best for this movie. And, you know, box office is not bad by any means. But I think it is underperforming from its original projections.
I don't know if you saw this, but there's definitely... I saw a report that they're not planning on making more Tron movies.
Oh, me too. Yeah. That's why people
So-
on Twitter were like, no, like, it's not the IP's fault. Like, please make another one. Or just, like, I don't know, reevaluate how you're going to make it in order to have a smaller production budget, or, I don't know, something. Change some things around. But people yearn for Tron. You just got to know that your audience is smaller and find a better main character. Not cast, but main character.
But I think it's unfortunate that those are the people who, like, kind of have a horse in the race in, like, media and movies and film.
Yeah.
Because reception, the IMDb score, and I'm going to compare this to Legacy.
Okay.
The IMDb score for Tron Legacy was 6.8. For Tron Ares, it's 6.7, just a 0.1 behind.
Ooh.
For critic audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, the critic score for Tron Legacy was 51%.
Yeah.
Tron Ares
Pretty crazy.
is 53%. It is higher here. A movie that has much less to say, is not nearly as revolutionary on, like, world building or even just, like, what they're showing visually. It's much less impressive.
Yeah.
The cast isn't doing nearly as good a job. There's not even, like, a main, like, arc to kind of grab onto. And they're still... These are incredibly similar scores from critics who are supposed to be... That's crazy to me. And then audience score, Legacy was 64%, and Ares is 86% from audiences.
That's ridiculous.
And I think that truly... either something crazy was happening back in 2010, and people just weren't able to key into what that movie was, or then they just... Or because, like, the idea that these scores are reflective of these movies in any way is just...
Bizarre.
I can't.
Can't take it seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very bizarre. So we talked about what that reception... The box office. So far, this film has made... In its opening weekend, it made $33 million. Tron Legacy did make $44 million in its opening weekend. Tron made $4 million.
It's crazy.
Tron went on to make $26 million worldwide. Tron Legacy went on to make $399 million worldwide, so almost went to 400. I think easily could have. Ugh. This one, so far to date, is at the $66 million mark. So the question being, how much more gas do you think this
That's
laser bike
bad.
has?
That's a combined worldwide total?
Yes. Today. Even outside the weekend and Monday, Tuesday, and I don't know if they added Wednesday yet, but at least Monday and Tuesday.
That's crazy. I don't know, because also, like, the Black Phone's coming out this weekend, which I don't think is going to, take its audience away or anything, but it's not like, next coming weeks are empty. I don't know. That's not good. I feel like it's probably not going to reach what Tron Legacy ended up making.
Oh, no. By no means.
Yeah.
I'm going to put my thing on, I'm going to say 95 million.
Yeah. I'm going to say
Are you going to price it right? You price this right me?
85
Oh, okay.
million. I'll say that. And I feel like I'm probably lowballing, but I probably am lowballing, but I don't know.
I don't know. I can't imagine this being a super rewatchable movie.
Yeah,
'Cause
and
even
it hasn't
after-
had great word of mouth.
Even
so-
after The Black Phone this weekend, next weekend, I think the only film coming out is that they're re-releasing K-pop Demon Hunters in theater for the Halloween weekend.
Really?
Mm-hmm, I saw that
Interesting.
today.
And
then-
they're doing a couple others
They're doing some
Like,
other
I think that's
re-releases,
when
but
After
there's
the
no
Hunt comes
original
out.
releases coming out. What is it?
after the hunt. I think that's when it's coming out. 24th. Because then Halloween's the one that only has that one alien movie, or like where they think Emma
Maybe I'm
Stone's the
missing-
alien.
Maybe that's...
I feel like you're probably skipping a weekend.
I think I am.
The 24th, there's like a few movies coming out.
But on the weekend of Halloween, there's
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
But
I
I
don't
don't know
even
if
know.
Tron will be able to capitalize on that the way other films might be able to.
Yeah.
So that is our estimate. Is there anything that you... I mean, I think there's some obvious things here, but if this were a franchise that were going to continue, like what would be your pitch, or where would you kind of like veer the studio to kind of explore?
I mean, I just think your script needs to be better, like all around. I don't even think the initial conversation was bad. I just think you need to expand on that in a much more interesting way and cast a charismatic actor or actress.
For sure.
As
I
you
think
may
casting needs to step up. And I think they need to work on finding the heart in the film that like really works in Legacy. And make sure that that's the center of your film. And also have there be more machines or weapons or visuals that you have not shown in your trailer. Have there be
Yeah.
something waiting for your audience in the theater, so that there's a reason to go there.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree.
Alrighty. That being said, let's switch on over to Roofman.
Roofman! The better movie of the two.
For sure.
Not that there was a high bar.
So, you want to start with ranking the Channing Tatum movies that we
Yes.
watched.
Oh my god, I should have written down way more than I did. I only wrote down the 15th.
You silly goober.
I have 15 Channing Tatum movies that I've watched.
I do not. I have missed a lot of his apparently best work.
No, actually, like once we start getting to the top ones, some of the ones I know you haven't seen, I'm gonna be like floored. Because we go into this and you're like, I'm not a really like big Channing Tatum fan, and I'm like, what? He's fun. Okay. So you have 7, you said?
I have 8.
Okay. I think I already said I have 15. He has some great ones. I also want to guess which ones you haven't seen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I feel like, let me do that first. You have not seen Dog,
Correct.
Dear John,
Correct.
White House Down,
Correct.
Fly Me to the Moon, I know for sure you haven't seen.
And to be in Channing Tatum's credit, I really wanted to see that one. I was very upset I wasn't able to see that.
So that's 4. And then Step Up.
Nope.
21 Jump Street and She's the Man.
Yep, I have not seen either of those either.
I guessed all 7.
I've heard people have talked about She's the Man for forever.
It's
I
so
don't think I knew
fun.
that he was in that.
Yeah.
And then 21 Jump Street I've heard is like his like magnum opus.
Yeah, that movie's freaking hilarious. So. Okay, so I'm just gonna start. My number 15 is The Lost City. I mean, it was cute. It was fun. It was a time. And then I have Dog. I thought this movie was actually really sweet. I feel like I don't dislike any of these movies on this list. So, we'll put it that way. Then I have Dear John. I feel like it was one of my least favorites of the Nicholas Sparks adaptations, personally, but I still think it has some good parts, you know. I mean, and it has Amanda Seyfried in it. So, White House Down, I like don't remember a whole lot about, but I used to watch this movie with my dad a lot. It's a very like dad movie. So him and I think it's Will Smith. Like, I wonder if like Will Smith. I know Channing Tatum's like basically acts like a bodyguard, but I can't remember if it's Will Smith that's the president or if Will Smith is also helping protect the president. I don't remember, but he has a big part in that. I haven't seen that movie in forever though. Then I have Fly Me to the Moon, which is a little low, to be fair, but I think the movie's really cute and I think it's really fun, and I feel like from here up I really enjoy like all of these movies for different reasons. Then I have Blink Twice. I liked what they were doing with this movie. I think it's actually like in the time really bold to release a movie like that. Honestly surprised they didn't get more like attacked, because it's obviously supposed to be like Epstein's Island basically. So I kind of give them credit for, I mean, that's pretty bold to do with how like crazy they want to cover that up. So good job for making a movie like that, even if it, it wasn't my favorite. So then Free Guy, people hate on Free Guy, but I think it's hilarious. I love Free Guy. I think it's so fun. Underappreciated. Everyone acts like this movie's horrible, and I just think they simply cannot have fun. There you go. That's all the way to 9. I'm gonna let you do your 8th one first.
My number 8, and I feel given your list, it has to be one that you haven't seen.
Okay.
Is Kingsman: The Golden Circle.
No.
I didn't rewatch. I watched both Kingsman movies back to back, maybe like a year and a half ago. The first Kingsman movie, so fun.
Yeah, I've seen the first one.
This one, whoa. And he's like the American version of the Kingsman.
Okay.
And it's cowboy based. And it's like him and I think it's, I always get her name mixed up with the other actress. Halle Berry?
Halle Berry?
Yes.
Yeah.
Storm.
Yes, Halle Berry.
Yes, okay.
Because Halle Bailey,
Bailey
I
is the
believe,
Little
is Ariel, yes.
But they're like the Texan version, and Pedro Pascal is also on that team. Julianne Moore's the villain. It's like a crazy stat cast, but it just does not work.
No, but I love that.
It's
I love that cast.
It's a bad movie, and it's really sad because I really like the first one. Ugh.
And that's the sequel, I guess?
Yes.
Okay, because I watched that one, or I've watched the first Kingsman. I've watched the most recent one because I watched it in theaters.
Yes. Oh, I forgot there was a third one because that was like a prequel. Crazy.
Mine. Also, I want to point out that this was actually really hard to rank because I realized I love so many of his movies. And I will say, unlike when I ranked The Rock's movies, I'm ranking these based off the movie and not his performance in the movie. Funny enough. I don't know. It just worked out that way. Number 8, I put Step Up. This is... You need to watch Step Up. Like...
I don't think I've actually even heard of it.
Oh my gosh. It's such a great, like, dancing movie. I think he has such great chemistry in this movie. There's also one with... What's her face? Julia Stiles or something from 10 Things I Hate About You.
Okay.
Have you seen 10 Things I Hate About You?
Yes.
Heath Ledger? Yeah.
Great movie.
It's that girl. It's the main girl.
Mhm.
She's in a dance movie as well, and I'm forgetting the name, but I also really liked that one. She's like a white girl, and she moves to like a small town with like mostly a black community, and she really likes dance, and she gets into it a lot, and just like, I don't know, I think it's really interesting. I think they explore interesting things, and the chemistry is really good. So yeah.
Cool.
Anyways,
Step up.
Yeah.
My number 7, and if get ready for a shake-up, gang. I have Roofman.
That's my number 7 too.
No way. That's crazy. I will say, huge gap. Not a bad movie at all. Bad movie number 8.
Yeah.
But there are some things that I think are just kind of missing from this movie that I think kind of prevent it from really landing with me. Obviously, we'll get into that, but some great stuff. I think there's some particularly great character work here, even if it's not always from Channing Tatum. I think there's an award-worthy performance in here for sure, and we'll get into that later.
Okay, I wrote mine wrong. I'm so sorry. So I wrote both down so I could say that I'm switching them. I meant to put She's the Man next and then 21 Jump Street, but I accidentally wrote them down wrong. So I wrote that I'm switching them. So there you go. So She's the Man is my number 6 and 21 Jump Street is my number 5. I know. Why is it so low? I feel like I adore these other movies. You don't even understand. So that like goes to show how awesome these movies are, is that it's this low. So there you go. You need to watch both these movies.
My number 6. Do I need to do 6 and 5?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's okay. You could just do 6
No,
and then
it's
you
fine.
could do 5 and 4. Okay. It's fine.
So my number 6 and 5 are the Lego Batman movie and Blink Twice. I fear I need to rewatch Lego Batman movie. There's some parts of it that I really liked, but I remember
That's like criminally low.
being
I loved the Lego Batman movie.
I watched this in theaters. I think there's become a cult following
Jealous.
after the fact that people have really enjoyed about it.
Yes.
I think I was also definitely too young to gauge the like queer-coded Batman and Joker thing.
Yes.
Which is
it's
amazing.
so obvious.
And I, didn't even come to terms with my own gayness at
No,
the time, so I couldn't appreciate
you didn't
it.
even know you were gay when you watched that movie?
I don't think so.
Wait. No, you need to rewatch it with those different glasses
I do
on.
definitely want to, but
Oh my god.
there are things I liked. It kind of the left turn with all of the different non-Batman villains I think threw me for a loop when I watched it the first time.
Yeah.
But I still think very fun. And
crazy.
Blink Twice, I really like the concept of what they're doing, and there's some great performances there.
Yeah.
I wish I liked the ending a little better, and I wish they maybe were trying to do a little bit more with the concept.
Yes, I agree. I will say, it's honestly probably a miracle the movie was even made and released. But yeah, I agree. It is a shame. I think they could have done more.
Had something really interesting here. I wish they kind of workshopped it a little more.
Yeah.
I think it could have been something very special and
I
unique.
think that's so fair. My number 4 is the Lego Movie. I thought this was really fun. I haven't seen this in, oh my god, forever. So, but yeah, fun time. Everything is awesome.
No, you're right. Everything is awesome.
awesome.
My number 4, I have Free Guy. I think it's very fun. I think there's a really interesting love story. The idea that someone thinks they're falling in love with one person, but it's like the other. It's that classic, I want to say Shakespeare thing where like the person's like telling the other person what to say to fall in love with the girl, and it's like projecting. It's very interesting. But I think the visuals are super fun. If a lot of people kind of hold on to the fact that it came out and then like all of the like gamer slogan was like from 5 years ago. Whatever. I don't care if it's it's like a time capsule of like 5 years ago.
Well, I'm not a gamer, so I don't care about that.
I don't.
I thought it was really funny. And when they had Chris Evans say "what the shit" in the movie, that was like peak Chris Evans. Like, I don't know if he's ever delivered a line. The only one better is obviously the one in Knives Out. The whole like monologue he gives in that. That's the only line he's ever delivered better than that, and I will stand by that. Don't even talk to me about Avengers Assemble. Like, no, absolutely not. So, my number 3 is Deadpool and Wolverine. Loved this movie. I also think people loved this movie when it came out, and then they tried to pretend that it was always horrible, and I think they're fake as fuck for that, because I think this movie's overall really great. The only reason it's number 3 instead of 2 or 1 is probably because of Channing Tatum's character, actually.
That's really funny.
Sorry. Anyways. That's my truth. That's actually dead ass the reason. Like, so sorry, Channing Tatum.
Wow. I cannot believe you right now.
You also don't like him as Gambit. Don't even lie.
I work at
The
the
bank.
bank. Okay, my number 3,
Anyways.
I have The Book of Life. This was
So
like
good.
one of... It was like Scooby-Doo Monster in Mexico.
Glad you said
And
that because I
then
wrote this down wrong.
This for like my introduction to the Day of the Dead, and I absolutely love the history, the aesthetic, and like the heart behind the Day of the Dead, and then like the love story of it all. Family, I think the visuals are super fun with like the puppets and the storytelling.
Oh my
Great
god, the
design,
animation.
beautiful, like the song and like the adaptation. It's like Bridgerton but different style.
You haven't even seen Bridgerton.
Yeah,
Don't
but
even
no.
say.
Um,
I'm slowly like I'm saying it more and more that we need to watch that because season 4 just got announced. Like the dates just got announced. So I'm like,
and she's being very subtle about it.
yeah. I'm like, hey Luke, we need to watch Bridgerton like every like twice a day at least.
No, but
Yeah.
this was a big movie for me.
So good.
So fun.
Yeah. My number 2, and I went ahead and did number 1 as well, is The Book of Life, and then Lego Batman. Lego Batman is genuinely one of my favorites that I've watched this year. Genuinely. I don't care if people say I don't care. I'll stand 10 toes down behind Lego Batman and Free Guy and all the fun movies. It makes me laugh, and I think, honestly, people don't give comedies enough credit because, quite frankly, some of you bitches are not funny. So I think it's really hard to be funny,
Oh, absolutely.
honestly, and I think that deserves more credit when you have movies like this that just crack people up. So, yeah, obviously The Book of Life is such a beautiful movie for so many different reasons. The animation's beautiful, story, songs, like, it's just a wonderful film.
There are parts
So.
of it that, I understand it's for kids, but the more when I watch it growing up, I wish it was maybe a scooch. It scooched a little bit more towards family,
Yeah.
instead of like kid movie.
Yeah.
That's like my only knock for it, though. I absolutely adore
Fair
it otherwise.
criticism.
My number 2 and number 1 are Deadpool and Wolverine and the Lego Movie. Deadpool and Wolverine, I think it's so fun. The visuals and the action are amazing. Love the villain there. I think Emma Corrin, that was my first introduction
Ooh.
to her, and I've loved her ever since.
The hands, like, in the head will forever be, like,
Iconic.
oh my god. That's terrifying.
Some great stuff there. Bringing back Wolverine, I didn't know if I'd love it. Absolutely adore it.
Yeah.
Um,
And X-23.
and actually, I knew I was going to
So
love to see
fun.
her back.
Yeah.
But truly, one of the biggest reasons, like you said, Channing Tatum doesn't work for me as Gambit. I remember hearing the headlines of Channing Tatum being like, "It sucks that Marvel never let me have my Rogan
Solo
Gambit
film.
rom-com film that I wanted us to make." And I'm like, no.
Thank
I'm-
God
I'm-
they did not.
I'm so thankful they didn't give you that because you're not giving Gambit. I felt that way because of how I felt about Channing Tatum, and then I got super into the X-Men '97 show, and I'd watched like the original X-Men show heavily and having Gambit as a presence in there. It's you totally nailed it on the head that he like. There's some tweet where he's explaining like Gambit's just this like guy who likes drugs and booze and women, and that's all there is to him. And it's like you
Ooh.
just don't understand the character then if that's what you're gonna say, because
People, like, still to this day genuinely think his accent was really good. And I'm like shocked because I'm like, sure, he had a accent.
And you can hear it at all times.
Yes, but that doesn't make it good just because it's a heavy accent. And I feel like it's obvious that it was supposed to be like a caricature, basically. Like, it was supposed to be funny because it was so bad and you couldn't understand what he was saying.
Yeah, it feels weird that others don't perceive it that way. Like, I'm whatever about him coming back for Doomsday or whatever, but as long as he is not here to stay,
yeah,
that's where I'm going to have some major problems. Like, the guy who does the voice acting for Gambit in X-Men 97, I've seen people push for him to just keep to do it in live action, and while I know that wouldn't happen, I'm like, I'd prefer that better.
I mean,
at least his accent doesn't come off as like probably maybe a little offensive.
Honestly, it's like it's so bad because it's just not good.
Like like I think it's fine as a joke, but if you're trying to pass it off as authentic, then that's crazy.
Yeah, I
and
agree.
Where you get into borderline offensive territory.
I agree, and that's where it's like I don't know the disconnect there, but anyways.
Love the Lego Movie. My family was always super into Legos. Like my dad like even loved the space Legos as a kid and like grew up with that, and then this movie just kind of was the culmination of like my entire family's childhoods into one thing.
Yeah.
It was a super fun, super great, I think simple message, but like great example that I wish the Book of Life kind of learned from, where it's like a great family movie that's great for kids and holds up for adults basically to the rest of life.
Yeah. I feel like the Lego Movie is such a great example of like turning a movie about a concept that you may be like, I don't know if we need to turn that to a movie, like the Kool-Aid Man or whatever. It's like just utilize animation more, just in general. Whether or not you're making an adaptation about toys, like whether or not Marvel wants to, tell a story about a large group of people, like utilize animation more. You have it. It's so good. People love it. I don't know. It's like the Kool-Aid movie in the studio. I'm like, you're missing the obvious solution here, which is to make it an animated film.
Well, and also my thing here is I think it's crazy. Like, I think it's a great example of having like the pull of a recognizable brand, but the heart of your film is like right on its chest, and it's like it leads with that for like a lot of it, and I love that so much.
Yeah. So sometimes you just need animation to do some awesome stuff that would not translate well to live action, and that's a Lego Movie.
Yeah, I would say it's actually pretty similar, I think, to Barbie, and in the idea of like making a really popular movie based off of a brand and like having the theme lead the way, but incorporating like what resonates from the brand with its consumers into that movie and like speaking directly to that. Yeah, I think both are amazing and like masterclass examples of that.
Yeah, like I love that they make fun of what's her face, Skipper, the
one who's always pregnant.
Babysitter. No, that's like Midge or something.
That is Midge.
But something Skipper. The girl that babysits but then like kidnapped the kids
and took a baby surfing.
Yeah. I love the way that they incorporate how silly some of these like Barbie ideas are, like, and then same thing here. It's they have a lot of fun with it and it's great. It works really well. So yeah.
So Roofman, what were your expectations for this film?
I mean, I honestly was kind of excited. I thought it looked fun. I didn't feel like I didn't feel like I had high expectations as far as like life-changing movie. I just thought it was going to be a good time, and I feel like overall it was. I don't know. It's like a solid film. Mm-hmm. So, I will say I feel like until there was a part where like the movie did keep kind of dragging for me a little bit, even though I didn't dislike what I was watching. It just I just felt its runtime, which is not that long. It's like 2 hours, but I just kept like checking my watch. At some point I thought an hour had gone by and it was like 30 minutes and I got scared. However, it was still working for me until about 60 or 70% into the movie. And I thought, oh God, how are they going to wrap this up? Because right now I'm like, I'm prepared to like hate it because of the ending. Just because I'm like, how do you come back from this? But I feel like the ending made it okay. I was like, I actually am satisfied with that ending. So, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I guess, can we talk spoilers?
Yeah, absolutely. Great staple. We warned about spoilers, but we are going to go into spoilers for Roofman. If you want to experience it for yourself, it's in theaters right now. Go for it, champs.
It's like the second he was committing armed robbery, I was like, yeah, you're not a nice guy. Like, you
mean the
can't...
opening scene?
Well, like, at the end, like, after all the supposed character development happened, the fact that he was still going through this and didn't have his moment of, like, regret, it's like, you're too late in it now. It's like, how do you come back from this? And he went to jail. So I was like, yeah, you deserve to go to jail. Sorry. So, I don't know. So anyways, I was prepared to hate the ending because I was like, I feel like you don't, at this point, don't deserve a happy ending. Like, this is horrible. So then he kind of didn't, I guess. He got what he deserved, I guess.
Interesting.
I don't think he's, like, a bad person. I just think in that moment it's like, this is a bad thing. Like, you're traumatizing these people. So, I don't know. A line was crossed, but then he did face consequences. So I was like, okay.
I don't know. I expected this to be a whatever movie. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, I think that is about where I land. Okay. But like I would say like a golden thread here.
Okay.
Like a really great aspect of this film.
Okay.
I'll unpack that later.
Right.
But especially with Channing Tatum, and I don't think I ever loved the trailer at all.
Yeah.
I think I was interested like the first 2 times I watched it, and then I'm immediately like
over it. Yeah, it was fun the first few times, but then they just kept playing it. It's like, it's one of those, I'm ready for it to come out. They have a movie called Anaconda that's coming out in January, and I'm like, no. I hate my life that I have to see this trailer until January. It looks so bad. I can't even believe they're making that into a film. Like, talk about streaming movie, if there ever was one. Like,
I don't know. Jack Black and Paul Rudd, even when they make bad movies, they make money.
Well, I'm happy for them, I guess. But not for that movie specifically.
That's so valid. So, as far as the end product, if you had to label some of the best parts of the movie.
Oh my god, I'm blanking on her name. What the heck is her name?
Kristen Dunst.
Kirsten Dunst.
Kirsten
Sorry.
Dunst. I was close.
I said it wrong. No, it's my fault. I said Kristen first. Kirsten Dunst, obviously, I think she's so fun in a lot of her movies. I thought she was one of the more interesting parts of the Civil War movie. I say interesting because her character was very, like, morally gray. So I'm not going to say, like...
But I think her performance was great.
Yeah. Wasn't she also in The Power of the Dog?
Yes, she was.
Yeah. I haven't seen Marie Antoinette, though.
Oh, I want to see that as
Sofia Coppola film. I need to see it. I need it in my body. I need to see it. Because I've heard it's really good. Because it's not, like, historically... like, it has, like, Converse in it. It's just, like, fun. Like, a modern version of it, so... I don't know. It's like they mix modern things. She still kind of dresses older, but then you have like the Converse. So I don't know. I'm kind of down for that. That sounds fun. Yeah. Especially since it sounds like they're hitting the mark with what they're doing. So, personally, I feel like the hate on her in the Spider-Man movies is just straight up sexist. I think, Peter does some horrible things to her that warrant a lot of her behavior and actions and words. In the third film specifically is where a lot of people hate on her. So I'm an MJ defender. Thank you very much in those films, and I love her in those films. I mean, she can be annoying, sure, But like the whole like you're like objectively misreading the movie if you don't think Peter's the asshole in this situation. Like he's supposed to be, because he has the suit that's supposed to make him evil. Anyways,
No, absolutely.
MJ Defender
I
till
think
die.
a lot of people
love
kind of
her.
misinterpret that Spider-Man trilogy in a couple of ways, and I don't adore it the way a lot of people do. But I think her performance as MJ is like kind of a universal standout for me.
I think
Like
she's great
throughout all three films.
Yeah. I agree. I think she was great in this movie. I think Channing Tatum had some fun in this movie. I'm not gonna say it's like one of his better films. I think he's fine. I think he like kind of him and The Rock sometimes kind of just coast through some of their roles. I'm like, yeah, probably for the most part here as well for him. But it was fun. Like, it's a dad movie. Like, my dad's probably gonna love this movie. So whatever.
Interesting. No, I absolutely agree on Kirsten Dunst. I think she is the one giving an award-worthy performance here. I think it's very grounded. I think it's showing on. I think it's a perfect highlight on why someone would be attracted to someone like this. And I think she does a great job of highlighting the really good parts of our main character, whose name is Jeff. But she doesn't call him Jeff. She calls him something else.
I don't remember because he has a fake name.
Yes. But I'll refer to him as Jeff. But I think she adds...
Because she talks about her first husband's name is Jeff.
Yes.
Because he later says, you have
and
two asshole Jeffs. And I'm like, you're right.
And I think she's able to come off as, like, very fun but very responsible. And, like, comes off as a really great mom, but someone who's still struggling, but is very strong. It, like, I love a great single mom who works 2 jobs, okay?
Who loves her kids and never stops.
And never stops. But
she's a survivor for that teenage girl. Woo!
Lindsay.
Oh my
we'll
god,
get to
that
Lindsay.
one scene, she would have been grounded for life. She never would have gotten a new car. That was bullshit, but whatever. I'm not the parent there.
No, but I really think that I would relate this role really heavily to her role in Civil War. And
I can see some elements of that.
Like, I think it'll ultimately end up being perceived, I think, in a very similar way.
Yeah.
Even though she's not going to get any kind of recognition for this, I feel like it needs to go up there, with her roster of very strong roles, I think.
That's fun. I feel like it didn't maybe stick out to me in that way, but I think I can see...
I think for what this movie's trying to do, which is build sympathy for this character, for our main character, I think ultimately the movie doesn't do a great job at that for me.
Hey, guys.
I think she's the one doing all the heavy lifting on that. And I think it's a huge testimony.
The Oscars love a good biopic, and this is technically a biopic, basically. So, true story. That floored me. I was like, what? I was genuinely...
Did you not know it was based off a true
not.
story?
No, I did
That was
not.
like the whole pitch. We watched that trailer how many times?
Listen, I thought the whole pitch was that he was camping out in a Toys R Us.
That is a great pitch. I fear if Toys R Us was like still around, that would have like saved them a lot of money on the production budget.
Yeah, we kept making jokes that this is the reason that Toys R Us got shut down. And then he went into a Blockbuster. We were like, damn, another one. Another one. This man's tearing down businesses.
No, but speaking of, I do think the set of the Toys R Us was super fun.
And you didn't get McDonald's. But you got Blockbuster Toys R Us.
We'll get them next time.
Yeah.
But yeah, Toys R Us, I think every part that we spend in that store, like especially like when he's like camping out there, I think is so great.
I also think it's really funny how much stuff he's actually able to use in a practical way there. Like, he has a bed, pretty much. Maybe not a comfortable one, but, you know. Baby monitors. I think it's really funny that he lives off peanut M&Ms for so long.
And baby food.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of funny. They have an alarm clock. They have, like, a monitor to watch what the baby camera monitors are pointing towards. I'm like, they've got some stuff in there. Like, he is able to make it in there with just a Toys R Us. So, interesting. Anyways, it's going to fall on me one day.
Mayhaps.
It's okay. It's going to be my fault.
I'm trying to think of other best parts. I think they didn't have a whole lot to do, which I think is a little sad. But I did really love Ben Mendelsohn and Uzo Aduba, who were the church leaders.
Oh my god.
I
Talk
think-
about PTSD from dealing with church people. I'm like, that's how they get you. They freaking guilt trip you. That's how they get you into the
That performance
doors.
of the girl who was bringing her in.
That like actually brought up a little bit of trauma in me. I'm like, I'm actually getting a little bit triggered right now. I need to like get out. I need them to stop. They're like, it's just so heavy for me. I'm like, I don't have a response I can say on this podcast for it. I have nothing nice to say to that response, basically. I'd be like, no, thank you. That sucks for you. I don't trust church people.
The best parts. Those are, I would say,
But
the
you
biggest.
know what? She ate that, so accurate. Oh, Peter Dinklage. He was fun.
I thought he was fine.
I mean, he was there. I still think it's really funny when he's like, "Oh my god!" I think that
He
whole
does
scene's really funny.
I think he does really great on parts of this.
The ink scene when the ink blows up in his face, I think was just as funny as the trailer. I mean, both of those scenes are in the trailer, so you know.
Yeah.
But they were still funny, I guess. So.
He's a jerk. He reminds me.
He is
He actually
a jerk.
reminds me of his role in Elf here, but like if he was
Ooh.
very extended in that movie.
He was a jerk here. So.
Yeah, it's funny. Then
I wonder if he was actually that much of a jerk in real life, or if that was their way of building more sympathy for the real person.
maybe. We may never know. And then, and I actually liked the first break-in scene in McDonald's. I thought that was funny. And I particularly
Get
enjoyed.
your coat.
I particularly enjoyed
Really?
after the fact
My
with
coat.
the. They were terrified of this horrible and scary robber coming with them and aiming them at gunpoint. What was it like, sir? He was
He was
really
actually
nice.
nice.
He told me to grab my coat.
Give me his coat so he wouldn't be cold. I actually like the guy. I want to be friends with him.
I gave him my number.
Yeah.
We're adding him to my Discord chat.
I honestly, for a second, thought he was going to get... I still don't know why they found out who he was. But I thought they were going to catch him because of something on his jacket. Like,
I mean, I feel like that's the obvious thing.
but I feel like I wish they showed that. Like, it would be funny if he, like, wrote his name on the tag or something. Like, that. I mean, it was probably, like, a piece of hair that they ran through DNA or whatever. But that would have been funny if they're like, that's from him? Give me the jacket. And then it's, like, his full government name on the tag. But
That's the thing. I feel
I
like
don't know.
it, like, sometimes borders on wanting to be a comedy.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, they can't adjust the story too much because it's based off of a real story.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe I would have liked this better if it was more inspired by a real story than based on, if that makes sense.
Yeah, sure.
Like,
Because then you have a little bit more creative freedom to kind of
The Great.
make it funnier. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
this easily could have been, like, a The Great level.
Yeah, I agree.
Um,
Ugh. I watched the first season of The Great, but then I found out stuff about the later season. I was like, I can't emotionally go through that, so I'm not going to do it. Thank you.
Fair.
Anyways.
So, any other best parts for you before we move on?
No. I'm good. I'm thinking of worst parts, honestly.
So, on to worst parts. What doesn't work for you?
The fact that he just abandons his first family, which I understand he can't ever go back to them, but I feel like this story he just
Stops. It feels like he
gets
basically
sad
stops thinking
for
about them.
yeah, he gets sad for one scene and then he basically just replaces them. And the story does too. Like, nobody even cares to, like, reminisce on that at all. So
Especially for a movie that, like, you can feel its runtime, and none of it's being used on that either.
Well, and you're supposed to have sympathy for him, and I'm like, but he made this horrible decision that cost him his family, and then he felt bad for 1 second, realized it was going to get him in trouble if he interacted anymore, and that was the end of that, and then he just like moved on very quickly and replaced them. So I don't know, that doesn't build any sympathy for me. So
No, I completely agree.
Mm-hmm.
I think this movie doesn't work for me because I just can't feel the sympathy for this character, and I feel like it's missing elements that I think easily could do that.
I mean, I can understand and acknowledge that he's not a horrible person. He's not like
Sure.
evil. He does several nice things throughout the film, sure.
What I think really doesn't help, I think, especially like off the bat, he's having that conversation with Lakeith Stanfield's character Steve, and he's like, I got an idea on how to turn this whole thing around, and then it's immediately crime. Like, it's not like there's not even a conversation about like
You're supposedly like a super intelligent man.
and there's things to do with
you
that.
don't try to like join a government agency to use that. Like, only the military is the only option you had in mind. I mean, I don't understand. I guess maybe if you're discharged, maybe you can't, but then maybe say that in your film.
Well, my thought
I
is
don't
also
know.
like maybe use this opportunity to show that like maybe transferring back to like a civilian lifestyle isn't easy, and maybe there aren't a lot of resources for someone to gain employment skills after the fact. Obviously, he has those skills, so why is he not doing them? Like,
Which again, like, I know it's based off a real person, but that's where I think they could have used the more inspired by.
yeah.
So then they didn't have to be accurate.
Well, regardless,
And that's just frustrating
It
to
almost
watch.
leads into I would say almost irresponsible element where it's like if you're not going to show why he came into this line of work and just jumped straight into it, is this someone who deserves to have a film like
huge
this?
amount of
Like, how does
sympathy?
his other family feel about this? The one that he straight up abandoned because he chose to do a life of crime instead of finding a real job. And I'm someone who's very sympathetic to the idea of why people do crime like this. But I would say like there's an opening somewhere in the last season of Invincible where it's like a short no one talks scene of these two like criminals who are trying to they do crime. They see that they're scaring a kid and they're like, hey, what if we like tried to turn our lives around? And like you see them try to do that, and then like slowly everything falls apart because there's not a system in place
The bad
to
guys.
let them
Bad
be
guys
good.
too. Like,
So there's the element of what's the point of being good if I'm going to suffer for it when I could easily do the wrong thing and benefit from it. Like, I think there's an easy way to build sympathy for that. We've seen that, and we've seen that recently. And this movie just almost doesn't care to build that at all.
yeah. They're basically like, yeah, he's doing a bunch of crime and scaring people within that, but because he's not, shooting them or assaulting them, which he does shoot someone later. So
Shoot
that,
someone? He
well,
punches
not.
someone.
Oh yeah, he does. It's just like really bloody. It's like, did he punch him that hard? I guess I don't know. But it was really bloody. It was like, that's where it really sunk in. Like, wow, he's like really hurting people.
Well, that's
can't even have that argument anymore that he doesn't hurt people and he cares for them. Like, well, he's choosing to hurt these people rather than walk away. He could walk away. He doesn't have to punch them. He doesn't have to go through with this. So I don't know. It's like I have some sympathy, but not as much as I feel like the movie wants me and needs me to.
Especially at that point, because remind me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that there's anything immediately showing that he's going to be found out before he gets a hold of Steve again and is like, let's do that plan we made like a year ago or like half a year ago so that I get to leave. And he's very clear. It's like, no, you don't get to like go and like get this still. So like if you go, you're gonna be gone and you're not going to exist.
And that makes sense. I feel like almost the movie's like, can he have both? And I'm like, no. Like,
No,
I agree. You
but frankly,
can't
at
have
this
both.
point, like no one's searching for him. There's not even an element of like they're getting closer to him in any way.
Yeah.
Like what would be wrong with him staying here? What's the point of this?
I don't know.
It feels, I don't know. It feels too much like it's forcing itself to get somewhere and not taking the time to be like, why are we here? And I feel like that's a sentiment kind of throughout all of this movie, actually.
Yeah.
And then I think with the ending, I love the scene of him like going up there and getting arrested, and then Lee's in like the car like a couple blocks away, and she like sees that it's done with like the balloon floating away. I think that scene is really good.
Yeah.
I also like her visiting him after the fact. A really weird note for this movie to end on is Channing Tatum's monologue of, "Yep, I'm here, I'm paying for my crime, in a place where I can't hurt anyone anymore." He tried to escape 2 more times in the future. It's like, okay.
Oh, okay.
Are we sure this is a story about the person you're wanting to do this movie about? Why didn't you just make your own movie where this feels like it fits a little better?
Yeah.
Like, and especially because they
It's
didn't
just a
show
disconnect
anything to like reflect like why it needed to be based off of him in any way.
I don't know.
Like, what was the point of needing it to be based off of this character so hard, and like just kind of forcing plot points that honestly didn't always work?
Yeah.
It's very odd. Boom, 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 and then the daughters. I want to say, I think Dee is a cutie, and I love bonding to specifically like a girl over a video game, especially like for back then. Love that rep. We love a little girl gamer. Lindsay is
Ooh, teenagers, man. They really are like the most aggravating age ever. Oh my god. They push buttons you didn't know were there to be pushed. Like, it's... Oh my god. But her mom was way too nice to her. I'm like, no, actually, the second you embarrassed me like that in front of a group of my friends, like, you're grounded for like a month at least.
And then she gets a car after the fact, which is like, no. And then also, like, and then Jeff tries to, like, get in the middle of that whole issue, and it's like, she was just this whole thing started because she was pissed you were here, and here you are trying to be the one to fix things. Great sentiment. Not the thing to do as a parent, and maybe more reflective of the fact that you maybe don't know off the bat how to be a great parent.
Yeah, well, and I also just fully disliked the scene where he thought he was being funny driving the car really fast.
Yes, I completely agree.
That reminds me of, let's just say, someone that has done that before, and I think it's pretty disgusting to put your loved ones in danger like that just because you can't handle your emotions on the road, which I know he was doing it on purpose.
But
so it's not that he couldn't handle his emotions, but I just hated that scene.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not funny in any way, and honestly, you should have been broken up with right then and there.
I completely agree.
You should not show your children that you'd put up with something like that, because that's not funny. There are ways you can be like a little less the responsible adult around kids when you're not their direct parent.
Like, that scene
That's
even works
too
if you
far.
just drive away and you're like, hey, I'm going to buy this dang vehicle. She's going to drive home. Like, that whole part is not even remotely necessary for what you're trying to do here.
Yeah.
And then also the idea that scene alone makes such an aggressive switch for Lindsay. And before that even,
I'm
Lee
sorry if she's being like that rude to her mom. Like, I wouldn't care about her approval then, because she's not even like, why do you need the approval of such a rude teenager? Like, that's not the age to want it from. Like, wait till later when she's more mature. You'll get it then. Like, teenagers hate everybody at that age.
But also specifically, there's a line even before the car scene where Lee's like, they like you. And it's like, this movie is shown, like, that's there. And I think that's very sweet.
Like, don't lie to him.
With Lindsay, and, like, even in, like, the interview at the end, like, Lee continues to think that, like, the real Lee says that they only remember great things about that time in their lives. But we don't see that at all here.
Not with Lindsay. So, yeah, that's crazy.
So, very interesting.
Felt like another, like, but he's so nice. But they only remember good things. And I'm like, well, they're children.
It feels like this was a movie either, like, produced or heavily influenced by someone who, like, isn't a great dad. But is like, man, isn't being a dad so hard? It's like...
Maybe it was, like, produced by that guy. But he's in jail, so he can't be. So I don't know.
There's some
Bizarre.
odd stuff going on here.
Maybe like a family member or something. I don't know. Lee produced it. I don't know, man.
But she remarried and hasn't been in super contact with him, so that would also feel weird.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't know. So, Roofman, let me pull up our reception stats.
I feel like it's been pretty dang good, actually.
It's been solid. It is at a 7.2 on IMDb.
Okay.
Rotten Tomatoes, we have Go Away ad. Go Away. 84 and 86.
I mean, that's not bad. That's pretty solid, actually.
Not bad at all.
That's higher than I would personally score it, but I still enjoyed it overall. But that is a little high for me, I will say.
For tracking so far, its opening weekend was at $8 million.
Sure.
The budget we had $19 million, so not a super expensive film at all. Pretty averagely, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, our current box office is at $10 million. So we are about halfway-ish through its initial budget.
Yeah. I feel like it'll probably end. I don't know.
It'll be pretty low.
Yeah. I want to say maybe 23 million. Is that too low, you think?
Definitely. I think that's around the right ballpark, I fear. Because typically a movie with lower legs does around, I would think, half-ish in its first weekend, and then it just goes down and can possibly get a little over half of what it's made typically with I think the average film.
Yeah.
And I think this is aggressively the average film.
So you think maybe more like 20 million?
I actually am going to say 20 million.
I think I also want to say that. Is that okay? We don't even keep track of what it ends up making anymore. So
You don't track.
Well, but we need to start saying that on the podcast. I feel like I want updates on that.
We can do that. We can try and find time to do that in the monthly recaps.
Yeah, I want to know. Fine, I'll do 19 million then.
Okay.
If I just simply cannot do the same number, 19.9 or something. I don't know.
That's fine. But okay, that is our estimate locked in. The last thing I wanted us to look at was our draft pick score so far. Because you last week had the Smashing Machine on your list, and I had this week Tron Ares. So last week you got 53 points. That has stayed the same. Do you think Tron is higher or lower?
Oh, what got a pretty lower critic score, probably by 20 points, 20%. But it got a higher audience score, probably around 10-15% higher. So I will say it lost more there than it gained. But then I have no idea on CinemaScore or IMDb. Do you know CinemaScore for Tron? I don't think we ever said that.
Yeah, so
Smashing Machine was pretty low. It was like a B- or something.
Yeah, Smashing Machine made a B-. Tron Ares made a B+. Crazy.
Woo! I disagree with that. But, and then it hasn't made a crazy amount of money. I do fear I don't know. I fear it's a tiny bit lower, maybe 1 or 2 points off one way or another.
But you're locking in lower?
I'm gonna lock in low. I'm gonna say it's like probably 50 or 51.
So the smashing machine for the draft, you got 53 points so far. I, for Tron Ares, have 55 points. So
well, I was
higher.
right, but
Yep,
at the
it is very
higher.
close.
Yeah.
In the last draft, I only won by, I think, ultimately like 14 to 12 points. So, it's close.
Yeah.
But I think it's
Not
really
too
interesting
off.
that we're so neck to neck so far.
Yeah.
Also very funny, the two movies that neither of us picked this week,
Did really well.
they both got the same draft score. They both are at 58. Both Good Boy and Roofman.
I was tempted to put Roofman instead of Regretting You, and speaking not Regretting You. Yes, it is Regretting You.
Yes, Regretting You was your last
and
one.
speaking of, I do fear I regret that. So I don't know. I just like really want to believe that that's a good movie because I love the cast, and I'm swayed by the cast, and I'll fully admit that. And I even said when I picked it, it might be my Smurfs.
To be fair, I fear Channing
So-
Tatum also, I think, sways a lot of perception of what Roofman is. It's doing great regardless, but...
Yeah. So.
So far, are there any that you're already kind of getting nervous about? I know you said Regretting You. Any other ones?
No.
Springsteen, Marty, Sentimental Value, Predator, Wicked, or Zootopia. I think most of those are really solid.
I agree. I guess if I had to pick one, Springsteen, Marty Supreme. I feel like that's gonna be the highest.
Interesting.
I don't know, but because
I don't know. Zootopia and Wicked are also great.
I feel like critics wise, that's gonna be the highest, just because everybody and their mother is raving about that. Not worried at all about that film or Wicked or Zootopia. I'm not worried at all.
I fear I actually have like kind of a bad list.
I don't know. Maybe not though. It's
because
kind
I
of
have
hard to know.
Avatar. I'm worried about. I'm already worried. I think about Black Phone too. I love Eternity.
I hope that's good.
I think Eternity can be saved.
Yeah.
Five Nights at Freddy's 2, I think, is truly 50-50 on how that's going to perform for me. Running Man, I don't think it's solid. What was I thinking? Oh my gosh.
It's okay. A lot of them are just like, you just don't know until it comes out. I feel like they could be unfortunate bombs just because a lot of them are remakes, but a lot of them could also be really good. Like I feel like I'm really excited for those movies, so I'm like really hoping they do good or they do well or whatever. Grammar. I don't know.
I'm so nervy.
It's okay.
That's okay. Worst case, I've already won one.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like we really just don't know what Avatar 2 is going to do. Like, I feel like that is going to save a lot. So don't be that worried. I think Avatar is going to come in clutch with a lot of that. Anything that you're, like, worried about at first. You just have to wait a long time to see.
Yeah.
That's the only bad thing. So.
We'll see. We'll see. But we are starting. We're officially off to the races, and I've taken the lead.
We shall see. Jared Leto wins again.
Well.
Jared Leto versus The Rock.
A lot of people
What
would watch
a headline.
that.
Yeah.
With that being said, I think that's going to wrap us up for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for listening in. Please let us know what you think of the movies released this weekend. Which one's your favorite between Tron Ares,
and
Roofman,
Roofman.
and did you catch
Good
Good Boy?
Boy.
Highly recommend. It's my
favorite of the three?
Yeah, actually, it's my highest scored.
Mm-hmm.
It was Good Boy,
Sure.
then Roofman, then Tron Ares.
Yeah. Yep.
Sold. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm your host, Luke.
And I'm your other host, Alicia.
And thank you so much for watching Not So Straight Nerds.
Goodbye.